You think using Manchester United, you cannot play like Real Madrid's lightning counters. You cannot recreate Liverpool's heavy metal attacking? Think again. In eFootball, everything is possible. With the right vision and creativity, even an ordinary team can play beautiful, entertaining football. eFootball is an incredible football simulator. Its physics, animations, and tactical freedom feel remarkably real. But here is the truth. What defines your style is not stacking superstar cards or playing Real Madrid to look like Real Madrid. It's about your unique interpretation of the basics, how you choose to create, control, and express your football. And to prove it, in this video, I'm using Manchester United from the 2024-25 Premier League season, a team that struggled in reality, to recreate the peak styles of Real Madrid and Liverpool. Because in eFootball, every football style is like a different musical language. I like to think of eFootball as a digital piano. The piano itself has no good or bad. Just like in eFootball, there's no strong or weak team. Different football styles are like different music genres. Baroque, jazz, rock, each has its own magic. The real difference is not the instrument itself, but how you choose to play it. In other words, eFootball is just your instrument. Your skills, vision, and creativity decide the kind of football symphony you can perform. Alright, enough talking. Let's get started. In eFootball, there are three main types of passing. Short passes. For example, this one. Ahmed cuts it back to Højlund for an easy tap-in. Long passes, like Monte's beautiful switch to Ugarte. Through ball passing, like Garnacho threading a perfect ball through to Højlund. If you want to play like Real Madrid, you need to increase the ratio of penetrating through ball pass in your attacks. If you want to play like Barcelona or Manchester City, then you will need to focus on short passing in tight spaces. And if you want to play like Liverpool's heavy metal football, you will need to mix in more crosses and high balls. In short, your passing mix defines your football style. But here is something crucial. Over-relying on one passing method is a trap. I know this from my personal experience. I'm a Barcelona fan, and a few years ago, I almost never played long ball passes or crosses. My entire game was built on short passing only. On paper, it looked very Barca, but the reality? My matches were boring and put everyone to sleep. My attacks were predictable and easy to defend. And no matter if I was playing friends or AI, I barely scored any goals. This problem isn't just eFootball. We see it in real football too. Look at Manchester City in the 2024-25 season. They got stuck in endless sideways passing, struggling to break through. They dominated possession, but their attacks were one-dimensional. Once opponents hit them on the counter, they collapsed into chaos. In the end, City finished third in the Premier League, and even Pep Guardiola faced a real crisis of trust. Now, compare that to Luis Enrique's PSG. They combined short passing triangles with long switches. When it was time to counterattack, they never hesitated. One ball into space, and boom. Their diverse passing options made them unpredictable and dangerous. The result? Exciting matches, loads of goals. And they went on to lift their first ever Champions League trophy. So back onto eFootball. Yes, you can favor one passing style, but if you avoid certain passing types completely, you will end up with a one-dimensional game. Sure, it might look like you have a style, but it won't be entertaining football. Because if your passing is too predictable, your attacks lack variation and make viewers yawn. Opponents read you like a book, cutting off your lanes, shutting you down, and punishing you. Eventually, you will find yourself constantly on the back foot, playing reactive football, scoring less, conceding more, and honestly, it just won't be fun to play or watch.
Alright, by now, I'm pretty sure most of you watching are already comfortable with short passing. So in this part, I'm going to skip the basics and focus on how to improve your long passes and through balls in eFootball. When your passing arsenal isn't limited to short passes, but also include accurate long balls and penetrating through passes, your opponent's defense will be stretched to the limit. They will be forced to cover too many options, and suddenly they will have no idea where your next attacking is coming from. And when that happens, your attack instantly becomes more versatile, more unpredictable, and most importantly, way more entertaining to watch. Goals will start flowing. Step 1. Always look up. This is absolutely critical. Just like in real football, don't keep your head down when you have the ball. Always look up and scan the field. Watch your teammates' runs. Track the positioning of defenders. Anticipate spaces and passing windows. This is especially important for long passes and through balls. You need to develop a wider vision and the ability to make quick decisions. Because in those tiny windows of opportunities, you have to pick the perfect passing target and deliver the ball where your teammates can receive it comfortably and continue to attack at full speed. Let me show you a real in-game example of how to use a long pass to completely break through a high-pressing defense. Here, Dagu has a ball on the left flank, and Liverpool have set up a 3-line high press. Szoboszlai is aggressively closing Doku down. Gravenberch is completely blocking the passing lane to Zirkzee. Even if I try to force it, Konate is ready to set up and trap Zirkzee offside. In midfield, Jones is pushing up, Diaz is drifting in to help, and if I play it into Maino, he will be caught in a tight double press. Meanwhile, Salah is sprinting back hard, trying to cut off my safest passing option, a reset back to delete. At first glance, Liverpool's high press looks unbreakable, but if you pause and scan the field carefully, you will spot two big flaws. 1. Their defensive shape is overshifted to the right. Konate has been dragged wide by Zirkzee. Robertson has stepped up to cover, and as a result, Liverpool's left side is completely exposed. 2. The midfield gap is wide open. Because Jones pushed too high, Ahmad is sitting in a golden pocket of space, completely unmarked. So I decided to launch a long pass straight to Ahmad, forcing Robertson into an area duel, already anticipating that Ahmad will head it down for Dalot and open up our right flank. Just as expected, Ahmad wins the header and flicks it on perfectly to Dalot. Robertson loses the duel and falls out of position. And suddenly, our entire right wing is wide open. Now, Liverpool's defensive shape is completely shattered. Van Dijk is forced to slide over and cover. The midfield battle flips from 3 versus 4 to 3 versus 2 in our favor. Zirkzee, Højlund, and Ahmad are all bursting into the box at full speed. Inside Liverpool's penalty area, only Konate, Bradley, and Alisson are left desperately defending. I play another long pass, bypassing Van Dijk cover, and drop it right into the danger zone. Ahmad races onto it, smashes a shot on goal. Alisson somehow manages to parry it, but with Liverpool's defense in total chaos, Højlund is right there to finish on the rebound. This entire sequence boils down to three things. 1. Observation. Spot Liverpool's right shift and free space in midfield. 2. Exploitation. Hit Ahmad early, anticipate the flick to Dalot, and create a numerical advantage. 3. Execution. Use the second long ball to kill off the move with position.
But, Højlund? I know what you are thinking. Højlund, are you serious? How does this guy, who struggled so badly last season, suddenly score goals like this in eFootball? That right there is the magic of eFootball. In real life, even when Højlund makes a great run, he often doesn't get the service he needs. But here, your vision and passing creativity completely change the story. In eFootball, you can turn Højlund into your own version of Haaland. Now that we have covered the long balls, let's talk about how to use through balls to unleash Real Madrid-style lightning-fast counter-attacks. If you want to play fast, direct football, the through ball is the most powerful weapon in your attacking arsenal. Here's the situation. Dalot wins the ball back deep in our half and immediately lays it off to open Bruno. But here's the key. Before the ball even reaches Bruno, Højlund is already on the move, sprinting at full speed into the gap between Konate and Van Dijk. Counterattacks are all about speed and precision, no hesitation, no extra touches. So I instruct Bruno to skip any adjustments and fire an instant through ball right into the huge empty space behind Van Dijk. In eFootball, beautiful football is possible with any team, and it all comes down to one core idea. Your football style is not defined by superstar squads. It's defined by your vision, understanding, and creativity. Once you master the cycle, observe, create, execute, your football becomes multidimensional, unpredictable, and most importantly, entertaining to watch. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Tell me your favorite football style or which team tactics you want me to recreate next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.